Apple makes some improvements to its health tracking.
You can build a castle no matter where you are.
And AirPods pranks?
It's iOS Today!
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust. This is Twit.
iOS Today is brought to you by Plex. With Plex, you can organize and stream your personal collection of movies, TV shows, music, and photos anywhere, on any device. Go to plex.tv/twit. Enter the code TWIT10 and get $10 off a lifetime Plex Pass subscription. This offer applies to new subscribers only. And by Hover. Use a domain name that truly represents you and your passion. Visit hover.com/twit to get 10% off your first purchase of any domain extension for the entire first year. Welcome to iOS.
Dear.
I'm back, baby.
Woo! He's back, and he is glowing.
I've gone native. This is the traditional garb of Omanis in Oman, which is a country over there where I was.
That way?
Yeah. It's a dishdasha, and I can't remember now what this is. But I kind of like it. I think that's how I'm going to dress from now on.
Okay.
Yeah.
But wait, do you have enough? Do you have like your Monday,
enough.
your Tuesday, your Wednesday?
You know, it's funny. I asked because they're all the same. And I asked my guide in Dubai. We were in the United Arab Emirates because the Emirati who are there wear beautiful white gowns and hats. And I asked, and she said, well, a well-off Emirati may have 50 of them. And I said, well, are they different colors? No, they're all white. But I said, well, how do you know? She said, well, they want to always be spotlessly clean. Oh. So they will wear one to work, and then when they get home, they'll change into another one. And so they have a lot of them, so they can always be spotlessly clean.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite beautiful. That's quite a sight to be seen. Yeah. And it's very practical. It's basically a dress. And in the hot weather, wearing white like this, and in a dress with minimal clothing underneath. I'm wearing a full Western outfit underneath it, but is much more sensible. Right. I feel bad for the women because they're wearing black and fully dressed underneath with beautiful gowns and jewelry and Armani purses and everything, but they're underneath their
the black garb, which of course is absorbing the sunlight as opposed to reflecting it. Like
it's got to be hot.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm back from vacation. Thank you to all the people who filled in. You had great shows.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
it was awesome.
Yeah, we had a good time. Yeah, thank you to those of you who were here. I think so. We started with Matthew.
It's hard to remember now, right?
Jason
a month
ago. Rosemary Orchard and Russell Ivanovich.
I was jealous because I'm very curious about how Pocket Casts happened and all of that. So Russell is one of my heroes.
He's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, really that was he brought like 3 different hats.
He took it seriously, and I take that as a wonderful thing. Thank you, Russell.
We appreciate it.
But I'm back, so it's the same old thing.
You're back, baby.
We're going to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart because one of the things I do on travel before I go, and Lisa does too, is we download content. We want to watch stuff on the plane, out of the country.
On a plane, on a train.
Everywhere we go. And so it's nice to have all your content on your iPad.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I thought, why don't we talk about the different ways that we stream media, the different ways that we, as you're pointing out, download media and keep it around for airplanes and
a number of the streamers, which I really like, including Netflix and Amazon Prime, will let you download, not all necessarily, because I think the rights holders have something to do with it. I'm launching Netflix, but it's being very slow.
Netflix is not happy with you today.
It's confused because it says you used to be out of the country. What are you doing now?
Are you back in the U.S.?
We're back in the USSR. Let me try again one more time. There it goes.
Now you got it.
You can, and what the trick is on this is to go to the menu and see what's available for download, because not everything is. But once you've got stuff, if you press the downloads button, once you've got stuff downloaded, you can watch it. Now, one thing you should be paying attention to is it will expire, and you will need an internet connection to renew it. So if you're right before you get on the plane, my suggestion is you download stuff, and anything that's been there for a while. I just renewed 20th Century Women so I can watch it later. I've got the Bill Gates documentary, and there's actually, honestly, there is a ton of stuff to download. That's Netflix. Amazon Prime, same, almost exactly the same story. You can download some, but not all of the Amazon Prime Video. They have a tab also, and you want to make sure it hasn't expired. And it turns out nothing's expired here, so you can watch it. I think this is really nice. You don't have to have an internet connection to watch it. So this is great for planes. It's not streaming, And the other thing you should be aware of when you leave the country is not everything will stream. A lot of things will say, "Oh, you're not in the U.S. You can't stream." For instance, I thought I was all excited. I had on my TiVo, I had set it up for play outside of the house. We wanted to watch the football games. But as soon as I launched it, it said, no.
Really?
Same with Lowcast, same with YouTube TV. The NFL, of course, is very strict about rights. And even with a VPN, as soon as you put a VPN on, it says, So at Launch Express VPN, I'd say, I'm in San Francisco.
Really?
Yeah. So that's something to be aware of. It's probably a good idea to download the stuff you want. And if you are, in a country where they block things like the live TV, just you don't count on it.
Yeah. Well, and so I was going to say Hulu as well offers downloadable content. I think that's fairly new for Hulu, but you can do the same thing. So a lot of people like Bob's Burgers that's available for download.
Very nice show.
And several different shows here that are available. But yeah, I wonder, because some folks I'm surprised that TiVo, given that you are downloading it as a local file, that it's not letting you watch
my answer for that, and it's really the best answer for all of this, is Plex. If you have the wherewithal to run a Plex server and have a Plex pass, then it's your content. You can watch it anywhere you want. You can watch it over the internet. All of that is solved. Little tricky with live broadcasts, but if you have a streaming device, there are a number of companies that make them. I'm about to set this up with the Silicon Dust's HD Home Run Prime. One thing you could do is TiVo it and then watch it later if you can't watch the live stream. So not TiVo. See, that's not a generic term. You could Plex it.
Oh yeah, what is that? A proprietary?
You could DVR it. You could record it. So there may still be, and it depends, I think, on the streaming device you're using. There may still be geographic restrictions to watching live television.
Now, what are you watching on? Well, you showed a little bit of some of the shows that you're watching. What do you tend to watch? Is it documentaries?
Actually, that's a bad example because this is all the stuff I actually didn't watch.
That's
because I
true.
deleted the
It's
stuff
still
I
there.
did watch.
Yeah.
Right. So I would say when I go to find more to download, I will get movies. I love series. Now, for instance, I can download The Crown, and if I were about to go on a trip right now, this is the wonderful biographical, not documentary, but fictional series about Queen Elizabeth, and they're just started the 3rd season on Sunday. I would download this because I could binge this. So I look for, if I'm going to do shows, obviously it's going to be stuff I want to binge. I do love documentaries. I like to mix short and long, so a movie or a documentary is great, but sometimes you want TV episodes because you only have a shorter amount of time.
Right.
Comedies, light stuff. But look, this is the Netflix choice list. It's quite huge. So you're never gonna, you may not be able to find the thing you want, but if you can download every season of Mad Men,
you got
plenty of content. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really find myself when I'm on the go. On the rare occasion that I'm on the go, I don't find myself really watching video all that much.
What do? You consume podcasts?
More often than not, it's audiobooks.
Yeah, well, of course.
Yeah.
I did that. I brought a ton of audiobooks.
Yeah, so I use Audible. We've had Audible as a sponsor on the network before. Audible is kind of my go-to, and I'm just a big old nerd. I love listening to fantasy books. And they're just it's a great way to pass the time.
We should mention both Plex and Audible are sponsors.
Plex as well,
but that isn't really why we turn to it.
No.
I would say it goes the other way.
Got,
They're sponsors because we use them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at all the books I have on my device. And by the way, to save space, I had to make a little decision. Normally I have it on I have all the content on both my iPad and my iPhone. I decided to kind of put audio on my iPhone and video on my iPad. And I wanted to keep some space on my iPad for photos as well, because I did a lot of photo retouching on here.
Yes.
So the phone is where all my books are. But look I mean, I definitely...
Wow, you downloaded a ton.
I have about 20 or 30 books on there. And there's good reason, because sometimes you're in the mood for this, sometimes you're in the mood for that, sometimes you want a short thing, sometimes a long thing. And it's, by the way, not my only audiobook choice. I also use a company called Downpour, and they have a broad variety of books as well. So I've kept my... Huh?
Scroll back up. That's a very good series.
Discovery of Witches?
Yeah. It's a very
You
good
know
series.
that?
Yeah.
I just completed the trilogy.
Did you really?
Yeah.
So did I. Not too terribly long ago.
Wonderful.
Because
Yeah.
I love how they throw science in there that actually is like tangible, makes sense.
Yeah, I thought it was quite good. But it's
very good.
got vampires
And history and
yeah, and there's a lot of history. I like that stuff. I like I like time travel stuff.
Yeah.
And vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other thing I like to do when I travel is listen to books about the region. So you might have noticed in my Audible listing, I have Turning Points in Middle East History. I have a history of Jerusalem. For me, that is part of the trip, is to kind of prepare for it. And you can see I'm already preparing. We're going to Germany in June.
Oh, that's right.
I'm reading The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich.
Well, there you go.
There's actually, it's interesting, when you go to anywhere but the U.S., there's a lot of history. You go to Germany and there's thousands of years of history. And so there are many eras. There's lots of books to read. But I do like I'm with you. I like to read. I'll watch some documentaries too. But I find reading about the places I'm going is also a big part of it. And when you're going down the Nile, listening to a book about ancient Egypt is pretty cool.
That's pretty neat. You get to really sort of teleport back into time. So right now I've got 3 different books that I've been listening to. 2 of them are like fantasy.
What do you mean fantasy? Like science fiction fantasy or fantasy?
No, I'm more fantasy than sci-fi fantasy.
You like unicorns.
I like unicorns and magic.
Flying.
Yeah, and wizards.
Wizards.
Yeah.
So
You're a wizard.
So give me some recommendations.
Well, I was going to say, absolutely everybody should listen to, this is not a fantasy, it's John Hodgman's new book, Medallion Status.
You interviewed him on Triangulation. I'm so jealous. Was it great? Isn't he great?
Oh, yeah, he's wonderful. Fantastic. We had a great time, always be plugging.
And his book is about travel.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And that was a great story. So that one sort of is outside of the scope. He reads his own book, which is fun.
And he does a good job. Yeah, he's a natural. He's a performer.
Which I realize that's the only way that I've always wanted to voice an audiobook. And I think the best way for me to get that opportunity is I just have to write a book. Then I can voice my own audiobook. So I'm writing my own book.
My suggestion is don't write a book, just read it. It's a lot easier to read it than write it. Just, take it from me.
Well, there you go.
I've done a little of both. What else are you listening to?
All right, so let's see.
You Discovery of Witches, you recommend that?
Yes, absolutely. So the Discovery of Witches is a 3-parter. Incredible. Like I said, my big thing when it comes to fantasy is sort of magic systems and lore and the way that those get set up.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you like Terry Pratchett, the Discworld series?
I've not read the
It's
Discworld.
comedy magic, but it's a world with a very much of a system.
Okay.
So I would say try those.
Discworld. Okay.
Discworld. Terry Pratchett, unbelievably funny. He passed away recently, but boy, those are great. Highly recommend them.
The way that I've been doing things lately is there are a couple different narrators who I really enjoy. And so Audible makes it very easy.
You choose it by the reader, not by the author?
Lately I have been,
Interesting.
Yes. Because it's been the trend that Luke Daniels, for example, he reads one of my all-time favorite fantasy series called The Iron Druid Chronicles, which is by Kevin Hearn.
Make a note of this one.
This is like an 8-book series, and it sets up a whole magic system. It's a little bit like American Gods in the sense that
loved that
humans are kind of responsible for the creation of gods.
Any Neil Gaiman is on my list.
And this is a mixture of that. It's got a taste of Harry Dresden, the Dresden Chronicles, but it's the Dresden Files, but it's called the Iron Druid Chronicles. And
good Lord, there's a few of them here.
Yeah. He's written them.
Wow.
And then of course they've been translated to other languages as well.
Yeah, and I always like to try to start with the first in the series.
Absolutely do. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a quick listen, honestly. But they end up it's beautifully crafted, where it doesn't feel like one book just came after the other because he wanted to keep writing, but there are tie-ins between each book and things like that. So
Nice.
it's quite well done.
And Luke Daniels reads them all. Huh?
Yes, and so there's part of the reason why this series really got me is because there's a talking dog whose name is Oberon, and Oberon is a giant Scottish deerhound, which is the Irish wolfhound's cooler cousin.
I'm adding it to my wish list. Are you excited about the Golden
Compass?
Because they have talking all kinds of things.
Yeah, so that series for
Didn't
some
get you,
reason,
huh?
no, and I think it's not an intentional thing. It's that I grew up very religious, and I can remember
yeah.
at the time that was like a
sacrilegious.
Yeah, that was a
or
sacrilegious
it's considered by
thing.
some. I don't
right,
think
right,
it's
right. Yeah, I don't think it is either. And so it's just like not front of mind for me because back then it was like you don't even mention the Golden Compass.
Yeah, because I
as a
read it to
kid.
my kids, and I have this kind of warm, fuzzy feeling about it. And of course, now it's being dramatized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's it called? His Dark Materials.
His Dark Materials was the first one. They actually made a movie out of it, but it's a whole. Actually, no, the Golden Compass is the first one. His Dark Materials is a series. That's what you were saying.
Yes,
you're right.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else lately because there's some in here that the Twinborn Chronicles is also a fascinating series of books, and it's basically this world where you.
Everybody's twins.
Well, no, it's not that. It's that you kind of exist in two universes, and so when your person falls asleep in one universe, you wake up in the other universe as the other side of yourself.
I've often thought that's the case.
That is how I work, yeah. And so your dreams
I feel
are
so
actually...
sorry for that other universe because my dreams are weird.
Yes, mine do get weird too. But it's a fascinating read because one has more magic than the other. One world has more magic than the other, and you can bring some of that magic from the other world as you learn it to yours. And one world is more advanced, and so they've like been able to move guns and other weaponry into the more magic world because of learning from their counterpart in the more advanced universe. And so there's a weird, fun tie-in between the two.
That sounds really good.
And that's the Twinborn Chronicles by J.S.
No, we were
Morin.
going to get book recommendations.
Yeah, we're kind of digging in there, aren't we?
Twinborn.
And I'm not going to, there are some in here that were just literally kind of, it was candy. It was candy floss. It was fairy floss. I mean, they're not great, but they were fun to listen to.
Harley Merlin?
Harley Merlin.
And is that one of the Twinborns?
No, that's not.
Okay.
Twinborn Chronicles. Look for J.S. Morin.
Yeah. Sometimes the search, there's too many books. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm. And J.S. Morin might have written.
There it is. I saw it.
Harley Merlin.
Harley Merlin. Twinborn Chronicles. Awakening, books 1 through 3.
Oh, and that's the other thing that I like is that oftentimes Audible will bundle the books all together.
That's nice.
And so you just get this huge chunk of beautiful listening. And I will...
Oh, sorry. I started listening.
Sometimes I will just while I'm doing anything, that doesn't require my front of mind thought. So if I'm driving, if I'm washing dishes, if I'm whatever, I've just got the audiobook
Oh,
going.
absolutely. That's the
So
beauty
nice.
of audiobooks. Long plane flight. I have to say, though, most of all on plane flights, I will close my eyes and put music on.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things I also did is I just loaded my iPhone with thousands of songs, enough to get me through a 12-hour flight, and just put it on and let it just go.
We should talk about the process of doing that. Maybe you can talk about doing it in Apple Music. I'll talk about doing it in Spotify because...
I'm not a Spotify guy.
Yeah, and so I'll talk about the Spotify way because I use both for different reasons.
Right.
But I was just helping someone who's going on a trip to Europe figure out how to
It's
download
not obvious.
music. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not.
So I use iTunes Match, $25 a year, and I actually kept that going because that lets me upload every song I've got on my computer, and I still have a large collections of songs that I got before there was an iTunes, before there was an Apple Store. So I have them on CD that I've ripped them and stuff. So I still use iTunes Match. When you go to Apple Music, one of the settings in your library settings, and it's an important one to look at, let me close that so it doesn't distract, is downloaded music. So this is stuff that's on the phone, and you'll also, I'm going to turn this down also, it's a little bright, isn't it? You'll also note that this is where you go to keep track of the stuff you are currently downloading.
Ah, yes.
So that's important too. You can download anything as long as if you have an Apple Music account. It doesn't have to be stuff that you uploaded with iTunes Match. It can be anything that's in the store entirely. So one of the things you might well want to do is go out of downloaded music and look at artists that you really like. Say you're a big ABBA fan. Actually, I have it now set up so it's only showing
the downloaded stuff.
And that's another thing to be aware of. And actually, I do that as we're traveling because I don't want to be teased by stuff I don't own. If you don't have the downloaded music show up, by the way, in Library, go to Library and edit it, and you'll see here you can choose what's visible in the bottom one, the one they don't want you to see, downloaded music. I don't know why they hide it. It doesn't even show up above the fold. So I can't remember
either where that's available.
Where I've put that setting. I do this every single time. You might check For You, too, because Apple Music's pretty good about that. And one of the things I did do is my favorites mix. So based on music that you have listened to, that you own, that's in your library, Apple, this is kind of like Spotify's Discover Weekly, will make a 25-song list of your favorite music. If you like the songs on that, it's a simple enough thing. Hit the triple dots there and just download. I think that's it. You download. Oh, no, there it is. I'm sorry. Shouldn't have to download every song by hand, should I?
No.
Maybe add. There it is. Okay, so once I've added it to the library, then you see the cloud with the down arrow. That's going to download any songs I don't have, and you can see quite a few of them I do have already, but any songs I don't have on this list. That's a nice way to get some variety into your list. And my experience with it is Apple does a pretty good job of figuring out what I want. I mean, it must know me, otherwise it wouldn't have put Jonathan Colton in the list. You probably don't even know who Jonathan Colton is.
I know who Jonathan Colton is.
Okay, you're a geek. All right. I don't know who Brett Dennen is.
I don't know who Brett Dennen is.
Good way to discover some new music, right? So that's one way to do it. I certainly would look at that. And the For You also has a recently played, but you also will get some suggestions for playlists in a category that you like.
Right.
So I got Classic Rock Essentials, and it said, oh, well, maybe you'd like some of these Rolling Stones. And it's the same thing. If you see an album, you press add. Now that's going to be added to your playlist, but it's not on the phone yet.
Right.
So you want to download it as well, and that's what's going on right there.
And to take things one step further, if you go into your settings and you go into music, there's a section within music called downloads, and you can set it so that it automatically downloads music when you tap that add button.
Oh, that's great.
So that way,
I turned that off because I don't want to jam up my phone, but that's a good point. Turn that on before you start putting your list of songs together. That's a very good idea.
And they've improved it because there's an option called optimize storage. If you tap on that, you can say, hey, I want this iPad to optimize storage, save up to 32 gigabytes of music and no more.
That's a good one.
So that when I tap add, it'll automatically download. When it gets to 32 gigabytes, then it will start removing old songs that you haven't played in a while and never let you save more than 32 gigabytes worth on your device. That's if you want to have that setting enabled. If you shut it off, then it'll save as much as you ask it to until you run out of space.
That's a great
tip.
But
I have it set to keep at least 32 gigabytes of music. And so if I haven't even reached that point yet, I'm at 25.64 gigs, but it gets up to that point and then it goes, okay, you haven't listened to this thing that you downloaded in forever, so that'll go away. But I like it because, then when I go in and tap add within Apple Music, I automatically have it set up to download up to 32 gigs of music total.
I have it set for 128 gigs because this is
you got a lot of space.
It's a large phone, and so you could even make it as much as 256 gigs.
It's about 51,200 songs if you need them.
The nice thing about 25,000 or 51,000 songs is, that's virtually infinite.
Yeah,
that's enough that, and yet it's not going to fill up your phone. So
right.
I think that's a nice feature. So I'm turning that one on as well. Maybe I'll make it 256 gigs. It's nice to check your usage and see, because honestly, I bought such a big iPhone, and I know many of us went all the way that I doubt I'll ever fill 512 gigs. So if half of it's music, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I did run up against a limit here on my iPad because I was putting all the photos, the originals, all the RAWs, and I'm using a camera that has a very big originals. So I did make sure that this was kind of cleaned off. And that's the nice thing about having an iPhone and an iPad. And this was for visual stuff, the iPad, and for audio stuff, I put it on the iPhone. That was kind of the
that's smart.
distinction I made.
Break it up between the two.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Spotify here. So if I go into Spotify, the process is similar, but it's a little bit different because it depends on how you have things set up. So the reason why I have 2 subscriptions, I use Apple Music for my library of content.
Right.
That's the place where I've got all my albums.
You kind of have to have Apple Music if you're using Macs and iOS devices, right?
Yeah, I think so. I feel that way.
They kind of get you there. But then why have Spotify?
So Spotify is and has always been a better DJ for me than Apple Music ever has been.
Yeah.
For one thing, they've got this beautiful feature that came out. It's been out for a while, but a lot of people who are on Apple Music don't know about it. It's called the Daily Mix, and they set up to 6 different daily mixes for you based on the content that you listen to. And so you can go in at any time, and if you don't know because most of the time I listen either by artist or by album. So I'll listen through a whole album is how I like to listen to music most of the time, or I'll hit shuffle on an artist. That's where I'm in Apple Music. But if I want to listen to new music, or I want to sort of come across old tunes that I've liked before, that's where Spotify comes into play. And Spotify also does a great job of what's called continuation. So any playlist becomes an infinite playlist. You start a playlist that they have, and it will keep going even past what the current list is, because it's smart enough to algorithmically discover new music for you. And what I love too is that when you create your own playlist, so for example, I've got a playlist in here that I created. It's called Pieces of Me, and it's just music.
Did you name that, or did they name that?
I named that because it's just music, and I made a little
so emo.
I made a little album
Oh my
cover.
God, you put a lot of effort into that.
Yeah, it's like music that, because a lot of times people ask you, what's your music taste?
And you're sharing that, right?
Yeah.
So people will see that album.
They can see that and go, so that's like the music that Mikah likes to listen to.
You're like being a DJ now. You're like being that's your mix. That's the Mikah mixtape.
Yeah, and it's very long because it's like music that I've listened to and enjoy. But what I love about it is that I can choose add songs, and it uses Spotify's algorithm to suggest songs that would fit within this playlist of music that you've created. And so then I'll find something that's like, oh yeah, I forgot to add that. I
kind of
really
winning me over. I missed the Discover Weekly playlist. Even that,
yes,
was
that's
awfully
great too.
Good.
Yeah, it usually ends up being very good music. Yeah, there's your Discover Weekly.
So you really let Spotify choose and play your music. Basically.
I do.
Now, by the way, they announced something today that's might even be a better reason to keep using Spotify. They're going to do the same thing with podcasts.
Oh, that's right.
They're going to have a Discover podcast. I don't know if it'll be weekly or daily, but I think it's a daily podcast playlist. And they'll pick podcasts, that you've subscribed to, but based on that, podcasts you might also like. I hope we get. I hope we show up on some of those Discover lists.
That would be great.
Really nice. They say they're not going to favor, Spotify exclusive podcasts. That they're going to be ecumenical about it. They do such a good job with music. I think they'll do a great job with podcasts too. So now, how much is Spotify though? It's expensive. Is that $10?
$9.99 a month, I think.
Let's 15 for the family, 10 for the.
Yeah, ad supported is free, which it's one of the few.
Do you
services.
get all those features free though? Do you get all the playlist features?
I believe so. Yeah,
You just get an ad in there.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll do that.
And the premium is $9.99 a month. So, in terms of, let's say you really like, so for me, I would probably want to have my Pieces of Me playlist downloaded and available on my device because it's got all the music, or a lot of the music that I like. So I tap on that, and it's very simple. There's just an option that says download, and you turn that on, and then it will download that music to your device. You can see the little progress bar showing, okay, I'm downloading this song now, like Bonafide Lovin' from Chromeo, which is a fun sort of old school disco sounding song. And what I love about Chromeo, it's a Muslim guy and a Jewish guy who have partnered up to create this song, or create this band, which is a lot of fun. So yeah, that's how you do it with Spotify. And then, if you were in your Discover, you see like a throwback jams playlist that you really like. Again, you just find download and flip on the switch, and then it starts downloading that music, and it's available locally.
So just to verify, I'm not paying for Spotify Premium. I have in the past, but I'm a normal user. And so, yeah, you still get a lot of this Look at this. Something to sing in the shower.
Yeah. Now, I think that you would have to be listening a little bit to have
A better choice, of course. Yeah. But it goes, I mean, there's still plenty of stuff here. I have to say, they've done an amazing job with the curation.
I should try to start listening to podcasts in Spotify so I can see how their recommendation engine works.
Yeah, I mean, I can. If you do search, you will see that you can choose podcasts, and it doesn't have any of ours in here. But podcasts under 20, podcast essentials. Let's see if we're on that list. These are all the obvious ones, which means we're not. So yeah, that's what happens, right? It's a lot of true crime.
Yes, people love their true crime
There's Dan
podcasts.
Carlin, though. Good for him. So,
here, let me subscribe to iOS today.
yeah, maybe if I subscribe to more of my shows on Spotify. I have to say, we were a launch partner when Spotify added podcasts some years ago, but we never really promote it much because the discovery was so difficult. I think it's gotten a lot better. They recently bought a big podcast network, Gimlet. They bought Anchor, which is my favorite way to make podcasts if I didn't have this big old studio. So Spotify clearly thinks podcasts are very important to their future. So maybe, picks of the month, podcasts under 20. I should listen to that. Maybe I wouldn't feel so old.
Let's see, technology.
Yeah, it tends to be the obvious big names. Startup, Conan O'Brien.
Oh, there's old Coney.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's a different guy. Coney 2012.
Oh, that's another Coney. Yeah. He's the bad Coney.
He's the bad Coney.
Okay.
I remember him.
Yeah.
Throw back to the bad Coney. Yeah, that's interesting. So the UI for this is kind of crummy, but I'm hoping by this, I mean the podcasts area is kind of crummy, but I'm hoping that with this new discovery feature, it gets better, because I think that with podcasts, that is a big thing. You know the ones that you like to listen to that maybe they were suggested by a friend or something like that, but how do you find new podcasts to listen to? And I haven't really found anything outside of someone said that they listened to X podcast and really liked it, then they told me about it, and I decided to download it, and I ended up liking it.
So it's a little bit of a challenge for us. I mean, we've been doing podcasts for longer than almost anybody, and that in a way is a disadvantage because we're not the new hotness, and so we don't show up on a lot of those lists, even though we're as big as any podcast network, bigger than most. That's all right. That's fine. You know what? That's all I care about. That's all I care about. It's
tell your friends though.
Yeah, I just went to the business and technology section, and
it's not there either.
Yeah, it's it's an interesting selection. Not necessarily.
I don't recognize many of those.
Best selection.
There are a few that I recognize. Yeah. I know that guy, his face, and there's The Verge.
Yeah,
I recognize that.
They got some obvious ones, but they also have some strange ones, and they don't have the ones that are nearest and dearest to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
At least not yet.
Yeah, and I'll keep scrolling. And
we're definitely below the fold. Let's put it that way. Yeah, no, we're not on the list.
Wow.
Yeah. It's funny because, as I said, we were a launch partner. They thought enough of us at the beginning to say, in fact, they even have our logo up on the stage, and Daniel Ek was, talking about it. But, no, we're not on there.
Are you not already subscribed, are you? I'm not subscribed to anything.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. I was going to say,
I
maybe
basically
if you were.
don't exist because I'm not a paying user.
Well,
that's how you feel, Spotify.
So
okay.
Let's talk about some of the new streaming services that exist. Disney Plus.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Disney Plus.
So are you
Apple
subscribed
TV
to Disney Plus? Of course you are.
Of course I am.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it wasn't an of course for me because I subscribed thinking, oh yeah, I'll go. I haven't watched anything. I haven't watched anything on Apple TV Plus yet.
Not even The Mandalorian, the new Star Wars series?
See, I'm like you secretly. I just don't want to say it out loud. I don't care about a lot of this
stuff. It's a dangerous thing to say out loud.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. I was having this conversation earlier this week, actually, I guess it would have been last week, about how I've realized that I don't really care about visual media as much.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is challenging for me. I mean, it's cheap. It's $6.99. You could probably get it for free in a variety of ways. If you're already a Hulu subscriber, $12.99 gets you Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus. That's actually
a really good deal.
Decent bundle. I think I have a little fatigue, and I bet you most people have a little fatigue about subscribing to all these different things.
There are a lot of subscription services out there.
For a long time, we bitched and moaned, excuse the French, because the cable companies bundled it all together, and you had to spend a lot of money for that one channel. If you want to turn on classic movies, you got to buy 30 other channels, that kind of thing. We wanted a la carte. Well, now we got a la carte.
I'll show you a la carte.
It's not enough a la carte. I want a la carte where I buy a show. Because that's really what you want.
That's iTunes Pass.
Yeah, I guess I could do it that way. I think I'm going to increasingly do it that way.
I use iTunes Season Pass a lot because it is
expensive though. It's like $30 for a show.
But
if you really love that show,
that's a show that I like. I'll do that with American Horror Story instead of having to wait for it to come out, see ads and stuff like that.
I think this depends also on how people watch, because some people will launch something like Disney Plus or Netflix and browse, look for something to watch tonight. Some people say, no, I have my 3 shows. Those are the shows I watch.
Yeah.
And so it would depend on how you watched. If you are a browser, and I would bet most people are browsers, then you're going to subscribe to a few of these.
Personally, I'm a Firefox. I don't know if you like a Chrome or a Safari.
I'm a brave man.
I'm brave.
So honestly, I think that this is going to happen. It's kind of, it was disaggregation, and now we're going to get reaggregation, because what's going to happen is, here comes HBO Max, for instance, or what you just saw with the Disney Plus, where they take a variety of things and they reaggregate them into one larger bundle. It's, I don't know what I want. Do I want unbundling? Yeah. But do I want to pay for 100 different services? No. So I don't know. What do I want?
I don't know. I don't know what I want. What do people want? See, so I got Disney Plus.
Disney Plus makes sense if you're a fan of Marvel, Pixar, Disney, Star Wars,
and Nat Geo.
Well, and Nat Geo. If you're a fan of those big, really big franchises, this is golden for you. Karsten said the very first thing he watched was the Computer Wore Tennis Shoes. If that's your jam, it's an old Disney movie. Oh. If that's your jam, then this is in a way the right kind of disaggregation, where it's giving you a category you love. I love Marvel. I'm going to watch Marvel. This is $6.99. What more could you ask for?
Right.
So maybe it's just me.
And
there are other streams. I mean, there's just we used to have a Curiosity Stream as a sponsor. That's all documentaries. There are other sources. So maybe that's the right thing. HBO Max is going to be interesting, because that's where Friends went after they took it away from Netflix. It's where all the HBO shows will go. But their hope is to make it into basically a new form of cable. They want to replace your cable
Max
TV.
Wants to be a new form
by
Hulu,
aggregating. I know, it's crazy.
Hulu's wanting to do that.
It's a difficult world. There's Superman. This isn't out yet, but this is of course all the Time Warner properties, including CNN. So
it's history repeating itself.
It's reaggregating, and we knew this would happen. It's kind of like the Big Bang, where the universe exploded and then contracted, and now it's exploding, now it's contracting. It's just an infinite
a lot faster.
Loop. Yeah.
Here's my watch list. I found it. So on here,
this is what it's telling you to watch, or what you want to watch.
I went through and I added these. These were things that I've watched before that I enjoy. Like the old X-Men series, that was fun.
Yeah.
But am I ever going to watch these? Probably not.
I would watch the Jeff Goldblum show if it's good. I don't know. I like Jeff. Mandalorian, it looks really good.
I've heard great things.
Yeah. I've only seen the trailers, but it looks really good.
A lot of this is just throwbacks to things that I liked when I was younger. And so, Ratatouille's a sweet
classic.
Film. I've never seen The Good Dinosaur.
Great. Yeah.
I've not seen Big Hero 6
Pocus,
yet.
How funny.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus is on there, which has the guy that plays the zombie in that film is is his name Jeff? I can't think of his name now, but he plays like every creature in every movie.
Not Andy Serkis.
No,
Boris Karloff. Somebody in between the two.
Yeah. He's in Discovery, Star Trek Discovery. He plays the tall creature. And I can't think of his name now.
The chat room would help us, but right now they're going down memory lane talking about their favorite movies. 10 Speed and Brown Shoe, Escape to Witch Mountain, Old Yeller. One of the advantages Scooter X is pointing out of Disney Plus is a lot of it is 4K Ultra HD with HDR and Atmos, so the quality is very good.
Oh, yeah. That's been one of the things with Apple TV and with that one. Yeah, they are doing a really good job with the streaming.
Apple TV, if you buy a new anything that can play Apple TV, so that means the watch is out, but a new iPhone, an iPad, or a Macintosh, or an Apple TV, you'll get a year free. That's smart because they don't have anywhere near, they have no catalog. They don't have anywhere near the content that other networks have.
Right.
And as far as I can tell, and I haven't watched all of them, they have yet to come up with the killer show, the Game of Thrones that says, oh, everybody's got to buy it. I watched Morning Show, and it's okay, not great. I kind of like For All Mankind. I was at first upset about For All Mankind because that's the one where the Soviets won the space race. See, I haven't watched it, or Dickinson yet.
Everybody has been telling me it's
Jones.
Doug Jones. So
Yes.
this is what Doug Jones actually looks like.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that.
We have a visitor in studio who actually had to write it on his
text.
That's a good app. What app is that you made that with? Safari.
You just zoomed in?
Zoomed in on Safari because it was good. It was white background, black text. It was legible across the room.
See, there's the 25th anniversure of Hocus
There he
Pocus.
is. Is that him?
Yeah, so look at him. He
Thank
plays.
you, Alex.
Yes, thank you. He plays a
Appreciate it.
great creature.
Of course, Alex is from Germany. Of course, he would figure that out. Of course, he would understand how to do that.
Here he is the that's that recent movie, the fish movie.
Oh, he's that?
Shape of Water, yeah.
He's in The Shape of Water?
Yeah.
He was very good
And
in
then
that.
he's the guy in the movie.
That's The Shape of Water. He's
Is this? No, this isn't Shape of Water.
It's not?
Is it? Hellboy. Yeah, he's in Hellboy as
he's
the
Hellboy.
one fish creature there too.
Oh, he does that. Maybe that's his specialty. Is fish creatures.
His specialty is playing creatures
Breathing
that
underwater.
are breathing underwater, that are tall and lanky, and
It's an interesting gig.
he's Guillermo del Toro's like favorite go-to guy.
Go-to.
Because he played that scary monster in. I wish I could.
Now we
remember
should
movie
mention
names.
that what we've been talking about is very U.S. centric.
That's a
right
good
now.
point.
In fact,
yeah.
Alex, in Germany, you probably have far fewer choices for that. Are there local German streaming networks that you can watch though? Netflix is it. Amazon Prime, Netflix. The nice thing about Netflix in the U.S. is it has a very big selection. As I travel around, I notice the selection dwindles depending on what country you're in. Amazon Prime might not have that problem. Does it have a pretty good collection? Not so much. Yeah. Yeah. That's the issue, of course, is Hollywood and rights and all of that.
It gets a little complicated.
So we acknowledge that we are being fairly U.S.-centric in our description here of these things. Although I have to say, Apple TV launched in quite a few countries, Disney Plus as well. I think there is a growing understanding that, remember in the old days, like when Apple Music came out, it was like U.S. only, and then maybe Canada, and then they slowly expanded it. I think now that's changed. People are recognizing it's a global market, and you've got to
really have to be in a lot of
decent
places.
international presence.
Yeah, especially if you want it to be successful and take off.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much covers it. That was the last thing on my list. I would think, of course, with
There's lots more.
Yeah.
obviously,
I mean, I don't know where else you listen to content. We talked a little bit about Plex.
Look how full my TV folder
Do you
is.
use YouTube TV?
Well, yes, I do. I canceled it because they jumped the price from $35, which was the launch price, to $50 a month. And I just, I'm funny because it's not the money. It just annoyed me. So I canceled it. And then Lisa practically killed me. She said, how am I going to watch my football games at work? So we have resubscribed to that because it gives you locals in many areas, including in the San Francisco Bay Area, so we can watch our 49ers play. You also see I have HBO Go. HBO has a paid version, HBO Now. If you're a cable subscriber, you use HBO Go. Same thing with Showtime. I have Showtime Anytime on here. Most of this, in fact, is essentially free because I pay for it on cable. TNT, Stars. We didn't mention.
Wait, so you have cable and get to. Is there a way to
I have
watch?
a fairly high budget for entertainment, and I really, one of these days, I think to myself,
I'm going to trim that down.
I've got to cancel some of this stuff because we have a huge cable bill. And I subscribe to many of these services. And I'm sorry, poor Disney Plus is getting the brunt of it because I'm not subscribing to them because I've had it.
Darn it. Well, surely is there not a way to watch the sports ball using your cable subscription?
Well,
You
that's
have to have
in
YouTube
theory,
TV?
yes, but again, the geographic restrictions kick in. So we're a Comcast Xfinity region, and no, we weren't able to do it that way either. So.
Weird.
I think it's NFL particularly. So some things I could have watched, obviously. Yeah, and that's, by the way, that you notice that is one of my streams here is the Xfinity stream. So I can stream shows from...
Oh, like the Birdies versus the San Franciscans.
Yeah. The Birdies versus the San Franciscans, yeah.
Oh, it went away.
Yeah, because it's over now. That was...
That's an on now thing.
But so... let's see. What should I watch? Here, let's watch The Voice.
The View.
The View. Love The View. So this is and most cable companies do something like this that allow you to stream based on the subscriptions you already have. Let's see if we can watch The View. It's on right now. There's Joy.
Do you often watch on your
Sunny
do you watch content on your iPad?
Oh, they're doing the network is doing the impeachment hearings. So but you saw I was able to watch that. I wonder if I can watch The Price is Right.
Please connect.
So this is one of the things we got a lot as we're traveling. Due to licensing agreements, some content can only be viewed on your in-home Wi-Fi. Please connect.
Do you use Comcast's Wi-Fi or do you use your own?
I use my own. That's not the issue. They know it has to be the same Wi-Fi as the cable box is connected to.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so they know I'm not at home, and so for some reason I can't watch CBS The Price is Right, but I can watch ABC The View. That's the problem is you don't until you go out of country, you don't know what you can or cannot watch. And but I can tell you one thing: almost always major league sports, whether it's the MLB, NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, MLB, almost always you cannot watch those if you're not at home.
Yeah.
Here's some free movies, which is nice. So this is actually a pretty good.
Some without ads,
choice.
some with ads. It's showing.
But I got to tell you, and it turns out it's a perfect segue because it's our sponsor as well. The long-term solution for me is Plex. Because with Plex, I'm going to be able to put everything on my Plex server that I want to watch. I don't even need to download it. As long as I have decent internet, I can stream it. Plex is an amazing tool. It brings together all the media that matters to you in a single app. This is an ad, but I was a little conflicted because honestly, it's clearly the thing we needed to talk about on this show, and it just happened that today they're doing an ad. So I thought, all right, we're going to talk about Plex, but let's do it in the context of an ad. So I understand they are an advertiser. We love them though, and I've been using them for long before they ever came along as an advertiser, because it's really the best way to take the media you love, and by the way, not just video, but music, podcasts, web series. You can get up-to-the-minute local news, national news, movies, TV shows. The thing that is most exciting to me, and this is my project now that I'm back, is to set up, and I have Plex Pass. In fact, I have a lifetime Plex Pass. But the Plex Pass adds some really interesting features, including the ability, if you've got an antenna and you live in an area where you've got great TV, this is even better. Just stop paying for cable entirely. Enjoy great TV. You can record HD broadcast channels, which is the best HD of all, so you'll have them in your library. Mobile Sync gives you offline accessibility too. So one of the things we talked about is downloading shows so that you can watch them on the plane where there's no internet. No problem. You could sync your movies, shows, music, photos right to your iPad, to any mobile device, and watch them offline as well. Premium music features include lyrics, custom curated playlists based on your music preferences. If you can subscribe to Tidal, then you also get Tidal's great library in your Plex. With Plex Pass, I also can create photo albums. It has all of my photos, which is really nice. So I can create beautiful photo albums I want to share with everybody. And by the way, when I say with everybody, that's another great feature that I really enjoy of Plex, is it's easy to have multiple accounts on a single Plex server. So you can share stuff with your family and friends. You can create cinema-like experiences when you're watching your personal movie collection. That's one of the things I really love about Plex. Drop your movies, your TV shows, whatever content you already have, drop it right into your Plex, and it'll show up. They even will organize series. They'll automatically download additional information like trailers, cast interviews, behind-the-scenes features. It really is the single best way to consume media. So, by the way, if you have your kids, if you're worried about the little ones, you can create an account for them that has parental controls. It will only have safe stuff so you can let your little ones watch. Honestly, we've spent half an hour talking about all the things you can do with these various apps. All you really need is Plex. Plex is amazing. They also have really nice features like loudness leveling, sweet fades, timeline view, advanced audio features. With Plex Pass, you get Plex Pass perks.
Say that 3 times fast.
You get exclusive access to promos and discounts on partner products. You get to use the newest features before everyone else. I've had a Plex lifetime subscription for a long time. I highly recommend the Plex Pass. Right now, you can get $10 off the lifetime Plex Pass. That's a good deal if you're a new subscriber. When you go to plex.tv/twit, yeah, that's where it is on the web, plex.tv/twit, and use the code TWIT10, $10 off a lifetime Plex Pass. That's really the best deal. I looked at the monthly and I thought, I'm just going to buy it forever because I know I'm going to want it forever. And with $10 off now, it's even better. Plex.tv/twit, the code TWIT10. And that's just a little way of letting them know you saw it here. And we thank you so much, Plex, for your support of iOS today. And honestly,
And of our personal media libraries.
yeah. And my only regret is that I didn't have time to set this whole, because I wanted to replace the TiVos. We have cable cards and TiVos. I wanted to replace that whole thing in my house. And I didn't have time before our trip. But for our next trip, we will be set, thanks to Plex. Thank
Nice.
you, Plex. Yeah. What's in the news?
What's in the news?
Apple's going to have an event.
Yes, they are.
And you and I are going to, well, are they streaming video of this event?
I hope so because
We don't know yet.
we have the plans to hopefully cover it. This is an event for apps that
Yeah, so I got all excited, except they've announced the MacBook. We already know that next month the Mac Pro is coming out. There's really no new hardware. So this is just like an Academy Awards for games.
Yes.
basically.
Well, games and apps, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's well.
They've done this every year anywhere. They've done App Store Awards. They've done Game Awards. They've done these great lists. We've even done whole episodes on Apple's picks every year. Well, now they decide, I think they're going to make it all glitzy. I think they're going to make it be a Hollywood glitzy thing. But I don't know.
So
it's got a very gold
the gold logo.
app icon logo.
Yeah.
That is gold. So I'm thinking they want to, this is what I would do if I were them. They want to make an award show, an award that is comparable to an Emmy or an Oscar or a Tony.
Okay.
It'll be the cookie.
The invite says, loved by millions, created by the best. This is honoring our favorite apps and games of 2019.
Yeah, they're going to give him a cookie.
They are going to give
I
him
think it'll be great. A cookie award. I want a cookie.
But we don't know yet if it's going to be streaming.
We'll be here. We'll be sitting here. If it's not streaming, we'll act it out with puppets. I don't know what we're going to do, but
coming up. Well, actually, it starts with good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, we're going to have a competition. You work on your Tim Cook, I'll work on my Tim Cook, and we'll see who's got the better
who's
Tim
got the
Cook.
better? Okay.
I know I can do Schiller and Q, though. I'm set on that.
You do that.
I own Eddie Q's
I'll do the cookie.
impression.
You
can
do
do
the
the cookie. So when is that?
That is December 2nd. So quite soon because November is almost over, which is wild.
It's at 4 p.m. Eastern,
Yes.
1 p.m. Pacific. So it's in the kind of the middle of the day on a Monday. We'll find out if they're streaming it. I'm going to assume they're going to stream it. Why else would they do it?
Right, to announce it and put it out like that.
I'm telling you, it's their Academy Awards.
So they're going to roll out the red carpet.
It's going to be, and I bet you Jennifer Aniston will be there. I bet you Jason Momoa will be there, stars of Apple TV Plus.
I bet you Big Bird will be there.
Big
I don't
Bird.
bet you that, but maybe.
That was the funniest thing when Big Bird came out for the announcement. It took him a while.
Yeah.
The stage goes dark. You hear rustling and clanking and stuff's happening. And finally, the lights go up and it's Big Bird.
Oh, wow. Hello.
What a thought.
Hello, Biggie.
So I hope Big Bird's there because I'd like to reenact that.
And Oprah.
Oprah.
Will Oprah be there?
If Oprah's there, then that's solid gold. That's
Yeah.
that's TV gold. Have you watched Oprah's new show?
No.
No, me neither.
No. Well, who has the time?
Who has time?
A billion phones in people's pockets, y'all.
Yeah.
Also, Apple's removing vaping apps from the store. I didn't even know vaping apps were a thing.
So, Yeah.
Or they're talking about doing so.
No,
right?
they did it.
Oh, it's already
And, not only
happened?
did they remove it, there's some question whether they actually might have deleted it from your phone. I don't vape, you don't vape, so we don't know. But we on Sunday, we had a vapor, Daniel Rubino, who said that it was deleted. He said, now maybe I deleted it, but it was off his iPhone. So when you vape, and vaping can be used for a variety of things as a cigarette replacement it's really a nicotine delivery system in that case. Some people use it also to ingest drugs, particularly marijuana, which is legal in some states. So when you do buy a vape pen, apparently, many of them have Bluetooth, and you can pair it to your phone, and there actually is a good reason for these apps.
Okay, what's the reason?
They will tell you what's in that pod, that module. You can also set the temperature. There's a lot of settings on the pen that you can set. And for no other reason, I think there's value, especially one of the reasons Apple removed it, of course, is this epidemic of deaths caused by vaping. Doctors now think it has something to do with a chemical that's mostly appearing in illicit marijuana pods. 42, it's very sad, teenagers in many cases have died from vaping. And it's a vitamin E acetate that is being used in some of these pods that's causing the deaths. Fine. And so Apple's jumping on that bandwagon. That's not, removing the apps is not going to stop people from vaping.
No.
I think you can make the case it makes it more dangerous because you'll no longer have the information about what that pod is in your pen, what the dosage is, if it's marijuana, who the manufacturer is. All of that stuff went from the pen to the phone, and you could look at it. So I think this is a little heavy-handed on Apple's part. It feels more like a political move than anything else.
Yeah, because it doesn't change anything in terms of removing access to these devices.
I can't think of one vapor who will stop vaping because they don't have the phone app.
Right.
And furthermore, that phone app, I think, was beneficial to vapors. You could turn the temperature down on the vape, things like that, maybe make them a little less harmful, and certainly know if you had a counterfeit or a bad pod in there. I don't understand it, honestly.
Yeah, this seems like a bad move. So one of my younger brothers, I don't know that he had one, nothing to do with the Bluetooth, but vaping itself. He ended up in the hospital with pneumonia.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And the doctor said that it was likely related to all of the vaping that he was doing, because it was coating his lungs.
Sure,
and
there's
caused
oils in there. It's not good for you to inhale those. I'll just say my opinion. We've always refused ads for vape products, e-cigs and that kind of thing. For years, we've refused those because I don't want to promote them. If you are a smoker, and I have family members who are smokers, I think it is at least a step in the right direction to stop burning tobacco and inhaling that into your lungs and vaping instead. Ideally, you'd give it all up entirely. And if you don't, this is the real problem with vaping, of course, is people who don't smoke, especially young people who don't smoke, vape. And it is an epidemic in our high schools right now. So for that reason, I understand the people are upset about vaping. I would hate to see e-cigs banned only because it should be banned for young people and people who don't smoke, but there are a lot of smokers for whom it's a step away from burning tobacco, and I think that's a good thing. So I have mixed feelings about this. I don't think it's going to stop a high schooler from vaping because it's not on their phone. I just don't think that'll make a difference.
Yeah, and I know that the pen that my brother was using did not have any Bluetooth connection in the first place, so it was one. And my mom actually has used it for CBD.
Absolutely.
Delivery.
Yeah.
And in that case, hers also was not a Bluetooth device.
So this is what it does do, unfortunately for Apple, is it underscores the monopoly, the absolute monopoly they have on apps on iOS. And by the way, that monopoly is coming soon to a Macintosh near you. Starting in January, Apple is going to insist that you be notarized, that you be a paid developer before your apps can be installed on a Macintosh. And I honestly don't think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't like a lot. Honestly, I don't like a lot of the privacy feature or security features that have been introduced as part of the latest version of macOS. There are a lot of things that are they're way too heavy-handed. They keep me from being able to use my machine how I want to use it. And so many prompts for can this access this? Can this access this? Can this access this? And I understand where that comes from. Like you talked about,
I honor their desire to be more secure. I do.
Yeah. But I think that there's a way to do it, and there's a way to make the process so difficult for folks that then they're not able to use their device to the full extent that they want to.
Right.
And that's a problem.
Right. I mean, maybe I understand that with the iPhone, but when it comes to a Mac, that's a general purpose computer. It should be able to do whatever you want it to do.
Yep. Let's see. Do we want to talk about the new update? Again?
Another update. I think it's getting to be weekly now. Am I wrong? It seems like I had 2 updates while we were traveling. There was an update. We are now at 13.2.3. Some minor bugs. In fact, seemingly so minor that I'm wondering if there were not other unnamed security fixes in there. Apple often does that. They don't like, and for good reason, they don't like to publicize the security fixes that their patches add. It's a small patch. It's a quick install. Maybe it does just fix those 4 bugs.
I would like to live in a world where Apple is releasing updates more frequently.
Nothing wrong with that, except it's, well, I can tell you when you're traveling in unlimited bandwidth,
that's
a little bit of a pain.
That is a pain,
You know, the Deep Fusion update came out for the iPhone while we were traveling, and I wanted it so badly, and I was using my iPhone. I have to say, the best camera I had with me was probably the iPhone, certainly the most practical. I wanted Deep Fusion, and so I spent some significant bandwidth to get that update so that I'd have it. Lisa did not because, you know, she
was she using the point and shoot more?
No, no. But you know, it's funny. Both of us brought very fancy Sony Alpha cameras and lots of lenses. I think we had a total of 5 lenses between us, and some of our best pictures are on the iPhone, and guaranteed the best video we shot was all on the iPhone.
Definitely,
really is it's an amazing camera.
The video is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, again, I think keep pouring out these updates, and yeah, it would be great if we could make them more streamlined, more practical to download, a little bit easier to install, where our phone isn't completely taken over by the process.
Maybe this should just happen automatically without thinking about it. But I guess they can't. They kind of have to restart. And if they're going to restart, they're going to let you know.
Yeah.
And let you defer it. Yeah.
Because I like the way that Google does it with the Google Play Services updates.
Yeah, they do it in the store.
Yeah.
But again, if you're on limited bandwidth, you have bandwidth caps, or you're traveling and you don't have bandwidth at all, or you know, it's expensive, you want some control over this. You know, you don't want it just to automatically download 4 gigabytes in the background.
Like, oh no.
I was looking at the bandwidth we used on the boat, which is quite expensive. I was kind of stunned. It was more than 100 gigabytes on each device. It was like, ay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What was it from uploading photos and downloading?
I don't know what was going on. I think some of it was updates.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I was shocked. Well, also, one thing that has changed, web pages are fat.
That's true.
Fat.
Yeah. You don't.
And I
use
did a lot of
any
web surfing.
content blocking on your.
I do, but they're still fat.
Jeez,
you know,
Louise.
a web page now can be many, many megabytes. So even, you know, even browsing the web can use up quite a bit of bandwidth. Fortunately, I had a unlimited bandwidth plan, or I would have been
a little bit in trouble. I promised we were going to talk about AirPods pranks. I thought this was kind of a clever thing.
Now, you've reviewed the AirPods. You like them?
Oh, yeah.
Because this all happened while I was gone.
Yeah, AirPods Pro genuinely are like 3 steps above normal AirPods.
Oh, wait a minute! You dropped yours. Can you should?
Yeah, can you?
You should pick those up.
I should get those. Oh,
you dropped those.
Darn it! I dropped my first gen.
It's
AirPods.
a prank. It's a sticker.
Yes, there was an artist on Twitter.
I think it's actually hysterical.
Who created these AirPods stickers, and then also there's a link so you can download the stickers for yourself and print them out on sticky paper and put them out if you want
That's
to.
hysterical.
I think he's an art director, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a little cruel.
It is a little cruel. Pablo Rocha.
So you put these stickers on the floor, on a sidewalk, on a manhole cover, and then just step back and watch the merriment ensue.
In fact, let's see if this video, I don't know if they've... This is just them sticking. There's no reaction video.
I want to see, because this is very much like putting a wallet in the street with a string attached to it and just watching people pick it up.
I've spent a good amount of time in SF over the past few weekends. I should get some of these and stick them around the city.
Wow.
Oh man! So this was just a funny little bit.
I had to show you. I was in Dubai when the AirPods came out, and actually I paid a little visit to the Apple store in Dubai.
Oh, fun!
And I was stunned. This is from, I guess, the AirPods ad, but it's not a sticker. It's a 30-foot tall statue in the Dubai Apple store of a woman wearing AirPod Pro. Let me see if I can find the close-up of it, because it's kind of mind-boggling, the promotional. And everything in Dubai is a little bit bigger, so maybe in order to go above the noise in Dubai, you have to do that.
Yeah,
but this thing was huge, and it was very realistic, I might add.
Because there's one in California there's those in California. What am I saying, in California? Like I'm not in California. There's some here where they are stickers. They're decals on the windows.
Well, maybe it was a sticker.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I feel like there's a tree in front of it.
Yes.
I feel like it's not actually. Well, but maybe, who knows?
But isn't
maybe
that
the tree
just a
is
tree
outside
outside
the window. I don't know.
Yeah.
I should have done some research.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a good promotion. Got my eye.
Yeah, these huge people just doing their dances while listening. And so they stick in the ear very well. Scooter X is saying definitely. But Scooter, were you there to see if it was a poster or a statue?
I should have gone in.
Darn it.
As I moved around, it seemed three-dimensional. I could see, I could see more on the left and then the right, but maybe it was just a trick of the eye. I don't know.
It was it was one of those creepy, not museum, but mansion photos where the eyes follow you around.
So my problem with it is $250.
It's pricey. They are pricey, but I think that in comparison to the regular ones, if you're going to spend that much, I just would say make the jump, because they genuinely are better on all fronts.
I don't know, and I haven't listened to them yet, but I've read reviews that say the $60 Samsung Galaxy Buds actually sound better, and that's been my experience. Those are the ones I use all the time, are the Galaxy Buds. They're Bluetooth, but they don't have all those fancy features like
ANC and
automatic noise cancellation and things like that. They're not expensive. They have the same idea, the same battery life. They have the rubber tips, which when the choice was the old AirPods and the Galaxy Buds, I thought they were better. Echo, Samsung also makes Echo Buds. I won't say the A word. That are very inexpensive as well.
Yeah, I've tried the Amazon Echo Buds with the Bose active noise cancellation, and so actually that was one of the videos that we did here.
You did a head-to-head, I know.
Yeah, so folks who haven't, if you're wondering, it's on Hands on Tech, sort of a head-to-head comparison between the Echo Buds and the AirPods.
Were the AirPods worth 4 times the price? Is the question.
So it depends on which environment you're in. I think if you're full on iOS, then yes, because the ANC was better.
And by the way, Amazon says that these are not active noise cancellation in the same way. These are not intended to do the same thing.
Right. They don't provide. So the one thing that Apple has done with theirs is there's a microphone that goes in your ear, and then microphones that go outside of your ear. Right. So on top of doing active noise cancellation of the environment, it's also doing noise cancellation within your ear canal based on what it hears. Renee Ritchie was on Tech News Weekly to talk about these, and he sort of broke it down. It's doing 200 calculations per second of the sound within your ear canal.
Just get something that seals your ear. It does a better job, period. I can't hear any ambient sound because I have in-ear. They're not doing anything active.
Right.
They just seal my ear.
Yeah.
Etymotics, many, the Galaxy Buds, Jabras, will seal your ear well enough so that they actually reduce sound of things like airplanes and babies crying better. And that's one problem with this kind of active noise cancellation. Intermittent sounds are not blocked.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm going to throw that one out. I've never thought that active noise cancellation was as good as passive noise cancellation. But then you also have built-in Siri. You can just say, hey,
boo-boo, yeah.
Hey, boo-boo, and it works, right? Does it work well?
Yeah, so it works better than, hey, Alpha, which is
Yeah.
that one with the Echo Buds, those do not do as good a job hearing as the AirPods.
But I don't want to do that, to be honest. And if I did, I would just do it like this. I'd press my phone button and say it. So to me, I would think twice before spending a penny on a $250 earbuds. Is the sound superb? It better be.
I don't know. I'm not good at
The
recognizing.
sound is excellent on the Galaxy Buds for a quarter of the price. It's AKG sound, which is very, very good. So I think this is not necessarily. Then again, I haven't tried them, so I'm going to borrow yours.
Yeah, you need to try them.
And I promise to de-wax them.
Yeah, I was going to say I'll need to clean them. Then you'll have clean them. They'll all be cleaned.
But I was kind of shocked at the price. I think this is there's a lot of profit in these.
You think? Yeah,
there's a lot of profit in these. Let's just say there's
excellent
a lot
transition.
of profit in these. What else?
We've got Apple, who is saying, "Hey, so there's a new German law out that is saying, look, if you've got a chip in your phone that can do payments, Apple, then you need to let other payment platforms make use of that chip to do payments with that system."
Another thing that's been a burr in my saddle for some time. In fact, Ben Thompson did a good column in Stratechery this morning about this. Apple put NFC in its phones late. They, many years after other phones, Android phones, had NFC. That's the near field communication where, tap to pay works that way. But from day one, Apple's very much limited who had access to it. They've started to open it up a little bit. You can now do some tags and you can even write tags, but it doesn't let anybody else's payment system do that. On an Android device, you have a choice of Google Pay, Samsung Pay. There's a variety of choices. And their NFC chip is open, can be used by other applications in a variety of ways. For instance, when you get in the car, you can tap an NFC tag and pair to your car. And this is something Apple has consistently prevented. Maybe for security reasons, I would grant that that's a possibility, but it does look like it's anti-competitive, that they only want Apple Pay to be able to use tap to pay on an iPhone. And so I think that I kind of applaud this effort by the German government to open it up. They want other payment systems to have access to the NFC chip. Now, I don't know if it is not yet the law in Germany. It still has to go through the German parliament. But if it becomes law, does this mean Apple will change it globally? I wonder.
That's a good question.
I bet not.
Because we've seen with other, so the what is it, GDPR, and then now the California Privacy Protection Act, those have both resulted in a wide swath of changes for different companies where, well, we have to hold to these regulations here, so we might as well just do it globally. And same thing now with the California Privacy Protection Act. A lot of companies are just saying, okay, well, across the entire United States, we're going to hold to that because we have to do it in California. Yeah. But I don't know if this is going to follow that same thing.
I think you could write code in your iPhone, in your OS, in your iOS. It says, are you in Germany? All right, we'll open it up.
Yeah.
But other countries could pass a law like this if it's a success. I think it's the right thing to do. Frankly.
I have to agree. I want the same thing. I want the UWB chip in there to be opened up to others as well. Yeah. I want apps to be able to take advantage of the new UWB. Yeah.
They've started to open it up. They only recently added the ability to scan tags. So maybe that will continue.
Yeah. The other thing was Apple. It just recently launched. I've already downloaded and signed up for 2 of the studies.
Me too.
Yeah,
I wanted to do a bit on this Apple Research.
Yeah. Well, let's.
So
do you want to do an ad first?
Yeah, let's do an ad, and then I will sign up for Apple. So I signed up for one of the 2 studies because I wanted to show people what the sign up process looks like.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. I like that.
But first, a word from our sponsor. I have domain names. You have domain names. There's something about people like us. We like to buy domain names. We have ideas for new businesses, new shows, and we run over to hover.com to register them because it's affordable, it's inexpensive. And if you are starting a business, the first thing you ought to do is go to hover.com and see if you can get the name of the business, right? Now, it doesn't just have to be .com. Of course, they have all the .coms, but they have over 300 other name extensions. We used Hover to register twit.tv, for instance. That's a good one. I used Hover to register leo.ninja and leo.camera.
That's where I got chihuahua.coffee.
Chihuahua.coffee. If you're a designer, what about .design? See, I think that in a way, this is what's exciting. It used to be it's .com or nothing, but all the good names were gone, right? So this really is exciting now because there are a lot of other choices, and in a way, and people are used to this now. So your address can actually say something about what that address is. For instance, I have a .email domain for my email.
Oh, that's
right?
smart.
If you're a designer and if you have Mikah.design, that tells the world, I'm a designer. This is my design page. In fact, I love it so much that I have different names for different things. My photos are at leo.camera, for instance, right?
Clever.
Yeah. So I just, if you want leolaporte.blog, you're going to get my blog. That's the kind of thing I like. So Hover is the only place I go, partly because Hover's price is right, mostly because the Hover service is fantastic. They have an easy-to-use DNS system, so if you do your own DNS, it's a snap. Even if you don't, if you want to connect it, for instance, to my WordPress blog, there's just a button that goes, boom, now it's on WordPress.com.
I love that.
A bunch of other, the single button connections are great for almost every site and service that allows you to do that. They know that you want privacy, so they don't upsell you on who is privacy. You just get it. It's part of the price. They also have sales, regular sales, so it's kind of an incentive for me to check hover.com frequently to see what popular TLDs are on sale right now. Hover is a great place to start. If you're starting a business, if you want to keep your domain name separate from your hosting, and by the way, highly recommend that. I know, it's easy. You're setting up a website. They'll do the domain for you, but I think you want to own it. You want to have it separate. I have so many domains, and a lot of them we use at Twit for a lot of interesting uses. I have a domain name, for instance, we use for our VPNs. There's a lot of interesting ways to use. Domain names are a great way to separate your traffic, to put your name out there, to tell the world what you do, and there is nowhere better to register than Hover. Go to hover.com/twit and get 10% off your first purchase for any domain extension for the entire first year. That's a great deal. Hover.com/twit, 10% off your favorite extension for a full year. It's got to be a new purchase, obviously. We thank Hover for their support. I actually registered domains on vacation while I was on vacation.
Did you really?
Yeah. I have an encrypted email service that I use called Tutanota. Steve Gibbs was talking about it actually, coincidentally, a couple of weeks ago. But I've been using it for a while. And I wanted to have a special name for my secret private email, my encrypted email. And I looked at privacy dot, and I looked at secrecy dot and stuff. And I finally came up with, and I kind of like the secrecy.house, H-A-U-S.
Ooh.
And I don't know why, but I just like it. Secret.house.
Yeah, that's fun.
So that, isn't that a good name?
That is a good name.
For my email signatures, I must like the German extensions for some reason. For my email signature, I wanted a shortener that would allow me to put it in my email, but it would take you to a page all about me, right? So I got leo.ist.
Yes.
Leoist. Isn't that good? So in German, it means Leo is, right? Something kind of like that. But Leoist is also good, right? So I love having custom domain names.
Me too.
Yeah. What's
Sometimes
your Chihuahua.coffee is excellent.
Oh, so good.
So good.
Right now on sale, they've got so many.
I don't have
.art,
a .coffee.
.ca, .inc.
CA? Oh, yeah, that's Canada, though. See, yeah.
.inc is kind of cool.
.inc?
Oh, .ink.
Oh, I like that even better.
Yeah.
Leo Inc.
Yeah.
I like it. See, I want
That's where
short.
you're right,
and the problem is Leo.com has been gone for 30 years.
Oh, so Mikah.com has been gone for a long time. I don't have that
I want
one.
a short name, but I obviously can't use .com. So yeah, Leo.inc.
Leo.inc is where you could put all of your pens. You could talk about your fountain pens and stuff,
I don't have a special page for my fountain pens
you
yet.
Don't, not yet. You
You're
better
right.
hop on that, Leo.
All right, let's talk about Apple research. This came out last week. It's a new app. Apple had promised it in their announcement of the new iPhones. And it is not something you have to do.
Right.
By any means.
No.
But I like the idea. We were talking on Twit because Google got in a little trouble for its health initiative. Microsoft has a health initiative. And people are very concerned, Fitbit, Google bought Fitbit. They're concerned about advertising companies, other big companies knowing about, their health and their fitness and that kind of thing. So there's a lot of concern about that. But I think people generally trust Apple, and this research initiative gives you the benefit of sharing your health information.
Yes.
It can be aggregated and used by hospitals, doctors, researchers to figure out that if there's something that you do that maybe it's dangerous, that kind of thing, not for your benefit, but for society's benefit.
Yes. That's why I consider this as important. For me personally, this is as important as being an organ donor. I want to, as many studies as I can participate in that I trust, I try to. Heart studies, health studies, all those kinds of things.
And the thing is, when it's Apple, people feel like, well, I know that my privacy will be protected.
Because Apple at least puts
They make
out,
the effort to
they make the
anonymize
effort,
it.
and they really try to explain it.
And they're
and
not
make
in
it
the
clear.
ad business.
Right.
So they don't have an incentive to kind of snoop on me.
Right.
So I signed up. There are a couple of them. I did sign up for the heart and movement study. And actually, that's a great one for older people to sign up for because it's going to monitor falls as well. But there's another study that's that I thought would be kind of interesting, which is the hearing study. So I intentionally did not enroll in this so that I could show you what the enrollment process is.
That's great.
There's also, and I didn't enroll in this for obvious reasons, a women's health study, which is going to be, I think, very interesting. So there's 3 right now. I anticipate there'll be more. But let's learn more and enroll in the Apple hearing study. This is a joint study with Apple, the University of Michigan, and the World Health Organization. Wow.
That's a pretty big name.
Yeah. And they can do this. The whole point of these is that the sensors in the phone and the watch tell them things like your heart rate and so forth. In this case, as you know, they added in the Series 5 watch the ability to monitor sound. Actually, I think even the
Series 4 and Series 5 can both do it. Yeah.
So you'll occasionally be, and then this is true of the other survey as well, be asked to complete short surveys and hearing tests. That's different.
I got my first one. I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
I got my first notification for that.
With your permission, and I'll show you, they do ask permission. They'll collect data, sound exposure. Then it goes on and on. So let's enroll in the study. You'll sign a few forms. You'll review requests for data access from the study. This should take about 10 minutes. So the reason I wanted to go through this on the air is to show you, and I'm not going to do all 10 minutes, but there is a lot of information. You are not doing this kind of, oh, yeah, whatever. They're going to tell you everything involved.
Who the investigators are.
Yeah.
Who it's
What's
sponsored
the purpose of the consent? You can withdraw at any time. It's completely voluntary. So I think that this is really good disclosure. This is the kind of disclosure you want to see. A description of this study will be available on clinicaltrials.gov. How many people will participate? They're looking for 150,000 given the number of iPhones.
It was 400,000 for the heart study that Apple did.
You'll be doing it for 2 years, but you will be asked, and I love this, to reconsent for an additional 2 years. It doesn't renew automatically. They'll tell you in great detail what all the procedures are. But, I trust Apple, and life is too short to read all this. So I'm just going to sign. So notice that they actually do require a signature. That basically I should point out why they're doing that. That establishes a contract. They can now say, look, we have Leo's signature. He agreed to this. So then the next thing it's going to do is go through requests for sensor actions.
And what I love is this. So the demographics portion, I only have to fill that out once, and I already filled it out. And
so it's in the app now.
And so now it's in the app, and any study from that point on can request, can I have access
things
to
like
your
your
demographics
age
data?
and your gender. In fact, they're really good about it. They say your birth gender, what gender do you identify now as, and that kind of thing. So yes, I am not going to review it. I'll just say okay. And then it wants data from the health app. And this is where it's going to say what data that it wants. In this case, audiogram, environmental sound levels, headphone audio levels, noise notifications. You could do it one by one. And again, you could participate in the study by just turning on one. I mean, you don't have to turn them all on. I'm going to turn them all on. And now I'm enrolled. So this is a really, I wanted to show this process so people aren't afraid of it.
Right.
I think it's a great thing to do. You will be informed on everything. Now, some people are worried that maybe it's going to be asking a lot of me. I haven't had a lot to do.
I have not had a lot. This is the first time I've got what's called a tone exercise, which I have not completed yet because I want to give it the proper attention.
Right.
But it's my understanding that you're literally going to be listening to tones and talking
If you've
about
ever
them.
done an audiology test, and I think almost everybody has, even just in school, It's the same kind of test.
Right.
You put in your headphones, you'll do left ear, right ear, and all of that.
I was just talking about, so I went to San Francisco over the past weekend and went dancing for the first time since I've been in California. And
It's
I was
loud, isn't
so
it?
fun.
How
it was
loud?
so loud. But so that was, what? That wasn't the thing. It was, at one point it thought that I fell. And I was like, no, I was just busting a groove. And so when that happened, I had to tell my watch, no, I didn't fall.
Right.
But then because I had enrolled in the other study, the health and movement study, then it did pop up a little thing to sort of review my fall and say, this wasn't
was
a fall.
going on?
Were you dizzy?
Yeah.
Were you this? Were you that?
Yeah, that's
and so
good.
I really like that all of that information was available.
And
when
I don't
asked.
mind doing that. You may not want to do it. And of course, it's your choice.
Yeah, you
but
don't have to.
I think it's great to encourage people, just like being an organ donor. It's a good thing to do for others, and it's an easy thing to do. And so yes, absolutely sign up for both those. I should point out that if you're dancing and it thinks you fell, you maybe ought to take lessons.
No.
I'm just saying.
I'm sorry that you're jealous you can't drop it low like me, Leo.
Did you hit the ground?
No, I didn't hit the
Did
ground.
you do the fish?
There were a lot of arm
sudden-
movements and
You gotta really. I've been triggered as well, but that was I was doing Ironman push-ups where you have barbells in your hands.
Oh,
and
so
you're
like
lifting them, and it hit the barbell hit pretty heavy, or the dumbbell hit, not the barbell, the dumbbell hit pretty heavy, and it said, "What? You okay?"
Did you fall? Ha.
I said, "Yes."
Yeah,
I
it was
fell."
breakdancing. That's why.
Were you?
No.
I'm impressed.
Dancing.
So sign up. That's great. Apple Research. It's free. It's an app on your iPhone in the App Store. And if you have the watch, even better. You don't have to have the watch to do it.
Right. Yeah.
Take
That
a
takes
moment
care
to
of that.
make a difference.
It feels nice. All right, let's move on to feedback. So this is a question for you because I don't know anything about this, and maybe you don't have something, but I thought I would ask it. So I believe it's Haidaki, and I apologize if I have mispronounced your name, but
I thought you said hi, Ducky, to me. And I thought, he's calling me Ducky now. Okay.
no,
I
not
want
at
you
all.
to say, okay, Boomer.
Okay, Boomer. No, so this.
Hideaki.
Okay,
Hideaki.
there you go.
Hideaki.
I'm wondering if you have any recommendation for a Linux shell emulator on iPadOS. I'm very interested how ISH works on iPadOS. And I know you love Linux, so I thought if anybody had an idea, it would be you.
Well, I use a terminal on iOS that I highly recommend. It's open source. It's called Blink. Let me get my face in front of it. I have it Face ID set up. So this it's not Linux specific. It's a terminal emulator, which means you can log into systems, including Linux systems, which there's nothing to see here.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
I don't know what's going on. You know what? That's the second app today that's kind of just crashed out on launch. Let's see if we can get it to work now. There we go. So there's the thing, and if you type help, you can see all of the things. It has Mosh built in, which is what I use as an SSH client. It's a better SSH client, a persistent SSH client. So I can Mosh to Leo at Nitro Mine. This is my Minecraft server, crafts.com. I've put it uses SSH public and private keys, which is really nice. Oops. Well, I can't do it right now, but I'll have to fix that. Maybe I can do it. Well, anyway, DNS is not working, I guess. But it is great because it gives you all the commands and so forth. So the problem is it's useless if you don't have a Linux server to log into because it isn't Linux. It is just a shell, and it's not Bash or Z shell or anything else. You need to log into a computer. If you don't mind logging into macOS, you can certainly do that. macOS can support SSH or even Telnet, and you can log into it. So this is my favorite terminal, and it's a wonderful terminal emulator for iOS, Blink. And I keep it on there because I frequently do need to log in to my servers. But you can run Emacs on it. You can do anything you want with it. So I'm a little confused by the question, because I don't know what you mean by a Linux emulator. So this doesn't emulate anything. It emulates probably a VT100 terminal. Did he mention a program? He said ISH. Is that what he said?
Yeah, a lowercase I and then a capital.
Let me take a
S
look at
and
that
capital H.
because I'm not familiar with that. Let me take a look at that. no reason. You can't really emulate Linux on iOS, so I'm not sure. And I don't find an application named ISH, so I'm not sure what he's talking about. If what you're looking for is what we commonly call a terminal emulator to let you log into a system that has SSH or Telnet turned on, Blink is easily the best choice. Oh, you just found it.
Yeah,
it's a Linux shell in iOS. Okay. Why didn't I see that? Oh, it's a website.
Yeah, I don't know if it's available in the App Store or not.
Ah, yeah, I wouldn't expect it to be honest with you.
Join the test flight beta. Okay, so it's in beta right now.
It also, interesting, okay. Linux shell environment running on iOS. So this would be very interesting. It's kind of a generic thing to say. It looks like what it really is doing is putting a bash shell. That is the terminal language that is typically used on Linux, was used on macOS for years. It's been replaced by Z shell with Catalina. So that's a program you're running using a terminal emulator, and it has commands. The really thing that would be interesting to me is if those commands would then actually do something on the iPad.
That's kind of the part you need.
The problem is the iPad isn't really an open computer system, and so there's the bash command to do a directory listing is ls. If I can hit ls and it'll show me the contents of a directory, that's kind of interesting. It almost certainly will not allow me to browse around the file system.
You should join the test flight beta.
Yeah, I will. I'll let you know. I haven't tried it. I don't have high hopes for what this
for anything
will do. It looks like it's running a version of Linux called Alpine, which is commonly used in containers. So maybe it's a container version of Linux. But the problem is it's not going to interface into iOS because Apple doesn't want you to have that kind of command on iOS. So if what you're interested in is the experience of Linux, this is not going to give you the experience of Linux. It's going to give you a very kind of stripped down experience of a Linux bash shell.
It does say Alpine. Welcome to Alpine.
Yeah, it's Alpine Linux. I could see that. But are you running it?
Yeah, if you tap this, here, scroll down, and then tap the test flight beta.
Oh, you actually downloaded it already?
Yeah, and then it'll...
Wow, you move fast. Okay. Test Flight is Apple's system that will allow you to beta programs. This is actually nice. Enjoying Test Flight, not now. Okay, let's take a look at this. Yeah, so now I'm curious. So, yeah, maybe you can do more. Let's just try. By the way, we're root, which is not a good sign. So let's just try this. Yeah, and ls shows you nothing. Let's go to the root directory. Oh, it lets me go to the root directory. But I think this is a container. This is going to be my guess is that let's see if I can make this bigger. I'll have to do it in the settings maybe. Let's get a really big font. There we go. So you can read what I'm doing.
Nice.
There you go. For some reason, I always want to do odd typeface sizes. I mean, even typeface sizes.
Oh, I was going to say, see, I must too.
Think it makes any difference?
When you said odd, I was like, what?
Well, see, so it has the typical Linux directory structure, but if I see, there's nothing in home. This is a container running on iOS, so you're not going to have access to the iOS operating system.
So can you put something in it? How do you create something?
Oops. Yeah, I created a file called myfile.txt. Let's see if it has some editors. Let's see if it has Nano. Nope. Does it have Pico? I bet it has Ed. Can I install? Now, it said it had the Alpine Package Manager, so I guess, yeah, let's add Emacs. Okay, it is now going to download. Well, first it's going to download the indexes, see if it knows it. Looks like you can install apps. You know what? This is interesting. The other way to go would be to have a Linux computer that you logged into, and you'd have real access to an operating system. Yeah, it's installing Emacs. So that's kind of cool. The problem is I don't have access to the underlying iOS operating system.
Right.
So I'm basically working inside a container, and I can only write files to that container. They're only available when I'm running this program. But that actually is the case with all apps on iOS.
That's true.
They're all sandboxed.
Does it save it though? Like if you quit and you come back in?
Yeah, well, it's saved.
Yeah,
it did. So let's try it now. Emacs myfile.txt. And there it is. And this is my file. There are many like it. But this one, it even does word wrap. No, I hit the return. Is mine. Okay, and then I'm going to do Control K S, which is the very intuitive command for saving files in Emacs, and Control KC to exit. It doesn't even seem to want to exit. Oops, let's try this. Control G, Control. That's interesting.
End of buffer. What does that mean?
Doesn't look like it can ever get out of Emacs. So there's probably some system. Here we go. Mac, CAC, select control. All right. There's probably some interesting system.
Are those things at the top tappable, like file edit options? And
Yeah, they are. Well, they should be. Maybe they're not. If I hit slash, so I'll have to play with this a little bit. It doesn't. Yeah, that's why that menu's there. In theory, you can access it. I'm sure there's a way to save. But it's interesting. I don't know why control. I'm sorry. That's why, because I was doing K. I think I'm in WordPress. I mean, WordStar. There we go. Save. Yes. All right. Apologize for my Linux behavior. Yeah, I saved it. Now, can I exit? Control XC.
What is it?
Huh. Well, I'm sure there's a way to do it. XS saves. XC is supposed to exit. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I'll have to play with it. This is cool.
All right.
Yes.
Well,
it's free. It's interesting. It's not really all the Linux, and it doesn't have access to the iOS file system, so don't get your hopes up. But, if you wanted to play around, it also doesn't support touch. Or does it? Well, I could scroll with touch.
You'll have to play around and see what happens.
Oh, there, it exited finally. I guess I had some other stuff in the way. So it did. Then let's cat my file. Yep. So it did.
Wow.
It saved the file. It's there. I presume I can then install, whoops. What was it? APK install. Other things. Let's install... I don't know, Python 2. Oh, what was the command?
Add.
Yeah. So if I can install Python, then I've got a Python editor. Yeah. So that's interesting. So yeah.
Cool.
You could code in it. I'll be playing with this. Thank you for the tip.
There you go.
Yeah.
So this started out as a question and became a tip.
Yeah, really interesting. So now I have
it.
Python on here. Yep.
Cool.
And then let's see. Echo. I'm just curious what's in the path.
You are really convincing me that I should be using Linux as a...
Yeah, it's a really friendly operating system, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks so fun.
Well, you won't believe it. Watch what I can do. You're going to just love this. 2 + 2. Get ready.
No.
4.
You're kidding me.
Unbelievable.
It does math? Oh, my God. I've never seen it.
I don't know how much Alpine has in it. This is clearly a container, which is cool. Nice. I think I like it. I wonder if I can list.
Uh-oh, Leo's gone. He's gone.
Oh, yeah, it's got a fairly decent, not a huge, but a fairly decent selection of stuff you can install. So, yeah.
Oh, that looks more than decent.
Well, as
Just
long as
keeps
it's got
going.
Lua Turbo, I'm happy.
Right.
Right.
Or Awesome Dock.
Be interesting to try to install a graphic interface on top of this. Like put GNOME on here.
Can you try that?
No, I'm not going to try that.
Why not?
Really.
Look, there's PyGnome.
There's quite a bit to it to do that. But, it looks like there is X is on here. I can install the X. So if I can install X window, I guess I can do more. Oh, I'm making myself a little user.
Oh, cute.
I won't show you my password.
Yeah, don't get the Linux password now.
I did it.
Oh, got to retype it.
Yeah, now I can. Now can I wonder if I've. Let's see. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, looks like it's Alpine, which is a full Linux. So yeah, cool.
All right. Next thing. This is Harry from upstate New York. I just bought my son an iPhone 11. He is on our Apple family plan. Will the family still be able to get the Apple TV Plus for 1 year, even though the new iPhone is logged into my son's account and not the main account? I went through Apple's support documents and looked at what it means to be part of a family plan and how Apple's Apple TV Plus subscription works. And it is my understanding that according to all of the support documents, yes. And the way that it works is as long as that main account that you're talking about has access to Apple TV, the Apple TV box is like logged into the Apple TV box, or is logged into one of the other platforms where you're trying to gain access to Apple TV Plus. When you launch the Apple TV app, you should see the prompt for signing up for Apple TV. You tap on it, and it will know that that iPhone that was just purchased, the iPhone 11 that was just purchased, is part of that family plan and therefore counts as a device that works for Apple TV Plus. So basically, you just go through the process like you would if the iPhone was logged in on the main account, and as long as it is part of the Apple TV, or sorry, of the family plan subscription, family sharing subscription, then you're okay to go.
That makes, in other words, that was very complicated. Yeah, it'll work.
Yeah.
Just try it. It'll work.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah. Try it. And then, of course, your son will have to add you to his family, right?
No, because the son's already part of the family.
So it's anybody in the family.
Anybody in the family.
That's the bottom line.
As
anybody in the family can do it as long as they have access to the Apple TV or whatever it is.
There you go. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Thank you for doing that research.
Yeah. It's
Not
just
that there's anything you want to watch on Apple TV.
Right.
Have you watched anything?
No.
I think you would like Dickinson. I don't know why.
I've heard really good things about Dickinson.
I haven't watched it yet.
Because it mixes modern with classical.
She's an emo classic poet.
Yeah. And so then they'll have like insults that mix modern words
that's
with
kind of
classical
cool.
words. Yeah.
Poet, daughter, total rebel.
Just like me.
You know what? In a way, this is bold of Apple because this is kind of a genre that doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand morning show. That's completely unbold. But some of the other things they're doing are a little different, you know? C is just a copy of The Quiet Place / every other I've lost a sense, now what?
Yeah.
But I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to have to watch that one because that was the one that
all right, I'll watch it.
My hairdresser was saying, yo, you have to watch this
I
one
like For All Mankind.
I haven't seen that.
I kind of like, because I like space operas. And it's kind of, what's interesting is it's an alternate history, which I also like.
I like alternate histories.
Yeah, I think that's fun. Kind of like The Man in the High Castle. But it's not quite as alternate. It's only slightly alternate. And so a lot of the things that happened historically are still in it.
And it's subtle, right?
But it's subtle. Well, it's not that subtle. The Soviets beat us. But but what's weird is like,
changes.
you know, there still is a Neil Armstrong and a Buzz Aldrin, and they still land on the moon, but it doesn't quite go the same. There's still a, Capcom is Deke. And I think Margaret Hamilton's in it. There is a programmer named Margot who is a friend with Werner von Braun who wrote the code, the 1202 error code. So I think it's a Margaret Hamilton, although they never say her last name. So it's interesting how they incorporate actual NASA history. And so somebody like me who's a space buff, it's fun to see that. Yeah. And they're all driving their Corvettes, and yeah, it's fun.
Oh, yeah. Corvettes. All right. The car of NASA, the official car of NASA.
Apparently, all the Mercury astronauts drove Corvettes. They were all crazy Mad Men drivers all around Cape Canaveral.
Wow.
That's in the right stuff. That's what they said. Do you want to put on a hat?
I think it's
because I feel
time.
a little all alone.
You've already got your hat covered.
Well,
You've also got that other hat.
I could put a hat on a hat.
Yeah, hats on hats.
This is not a hat you would wear in the desert.
No, not be smart to do so.
We're wearing our winter hats because it is Arctic vortex time. We flew home through Toronto. We went from Dubai, where it was 85 degrees and bright sun, to Toronto, where we had to get de-iced before we could take off. So that was a little culture shock there. Why do we wear these caps, Mikah?
We wear these caps to celebrate and honor our app picks of the week.
Yay!
It's time for app caps.
Apple's going to steal our thunder, aren't they, in December 2nd?
Oh, my goodness. Do you think
Tim Cook
doesn't
will wear a hat?
Oh, Cookie, you better wear a hat. Oh, my goodness. Can you imagine?
If they don't call that award the Cookie, they're really missing an opportunity.
That's a good name. Do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
No, you always go first.
I don't know that that's true.
In my world, you always go first.
Okay, well, we're back in Leo's world now, folks.
Yeah. So when you had Matthew on, he would go first.
Yeah.
Jason Snell would go first.
Go before me, you know?
Well.
And so that's what you're doing.
Pearls before swine.
Okay.
Age before... No, that's not.
Wait.
Beauty before age.
Never mind. All right, the app that I have...
Millennials before boomers.
Millennials before boom-millennials. Oh, who's that?
That's a boomer.
But it's a brown skin boomer.
Yeah, I got a tan while I was in
okay. That's you with your tan. Got it. Let's talk about Airtime. This is a fun new app.
Airtime.
Actually, I'm going to show it on my phone.
What is it?
Well, I'll tell you,
do?
Leo. I'll tell you what it does. It lets you watch content with your friends. So I can create a party, is what they call it.
Oh, this is kind of interesting. So you all watch the same thing together, but you're not in the same room.
So Leo's gone ahead and told you about my app cap, and I'm done now.
No. Should I put Airtime on here so we could watch a show together?
Yeah, let's do that.
What shows can you watch together?
So a lot of it is YouTube, which is a little bit kind of disappointing. But what I see is as the service gets popular, then they're going to try to add more content. But I can go ahead and I'll hit there's a play button with popcorn at the bottom. And that lets me choose stuff to watch. So, for example, the Billboard Top 15 here. We'll play some music.
Oh, yeah. Because, okay. My son would get all his friends would come over. They'd sit in the living room and they'd watch music on YouTube all together. That's kind of, I think this is a thing.
Yeah. And so now I can have the music going up top. And then once Leo gets signed up for this, we'll be able to try this out.
So when you first signed up, it said, and now you get 5 invites for your 5 best friends.
And I gave you one of mine.
Well, I'm going to give you all the first 5 callers right now who call immediately will get the code Treme Sling.
Treme Sling.
Treme Sling.
You know, that's Treme Sling.
Treme Sling. Okay, so now you're all invited. Okay.
Now, in theory, I've invited you to join my room.
You've invited me twice.
See? I knew it.
Which one should I use? The one that looks like you just got up or the one where you're on iOS today?
I think it's the one that I just got up. Although the other one knows many people use the wrong one. Just do both. That's probably for the best. Treme Sling.
I'm Treme Sling.
You can enter my room there.
Enter your first party room.
Let's party.
Welcome to the Oh, hi. Tap below to go live.
And now,
so basically now we're FaceTiming.
See, now
Tap
you're in there.
video. Now we're going to watch the video.
Yeah, we can watch the video together.
Okay. Oh, it's a panda. Is this the panda they're sending back to China?
Oh, I hope not.
Chubby baby panda
in China
struggles to go.
Now, are you able to change the video, or is that only me since it's my room?
Now playing. You have no items. Yeah.
Awesome.
Let me add an item.
Oh, wait. You can add an item? I don't think you can because it's my room.
Oh, I can't.
Ooh, let's talk about solid state
You should
batteries.
add that video you posted in Slack.
You want to replace what's on stage?
I wish we didn't have it, but wait a minute. Something else is happening.
Yes.
Is this an ad?
No, this is
solid state batteries.
Solid state batteries. Let me see if I can search. Okay, yes.
Add that video that you added to the Slack channel. We've added on our Slack random channel that people seem kind of hell-bent on posting time wasters into.
That's the whole point.
Oh. Well, as the boss. Oh, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the most annoying song. ever recorded. Go ahead, pick up my audio.
Yeah, his.
I push it down, I push it down.
Everybody, sing along.
I'm the one for a good time.
So I'm sending you.
Ringing my doorbell. Feel the love, feel the love.
Here we go.
Get ready, everybody. Get this button.
1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1,
She's not really.
Here it comes.
Wait a minute, here it comes.
Till I lose count.
So now you see how much fun this would be if I only had friends.
I want to meet the person who actually did the voiceover of this. Oh, that's how you're doing that.
This is fun.
I was wondering how you were adding all those notifications, Treme Sling.
Sean, welcome to my party. Can we invite Sean to our party?
Yeah, how do you do that? Oh, wait, I can. I think he has to join my room because... Oh, my God, I have got to...
Oh, this has all the Ute phrases like spill the tea, which I now know means tell me what the gossip is, right?
Yes.
And Yaz with a
Yes.
diamond. Yaz, queen.
Yes.
Juicy.
Oh, blame it on the juice, baby. Snap. Oh, those are actual sounds. Oh, my Lord. See, this is kind of fun.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1,
Okay, I can applaud.
Let me add Joanna Stern, see if she'll join us.
throw 'em back till I lose count.
I hate this music video so much.
You know, the only thing I don't like about this isn't a video.
That's true.
I love it because you can see your friends cracking up. This is a great program.
Yeah, well, we got it to work finally. It's actually pretty great. So yeah, now I have you twice in this room. Oh, you can send messages too.
I wish I could add something to the playlist, though.
So you have to create your own room.
To do that, I can't.
I don't think you.
I think we should have a way of sharing.
Oh, that's true. That would be nice.
Looks like I can clear the queue, so I bet there is a way to add something.
Yeah, there might be. Go to
Stop it!
Let's see. I bet there is, because you can.
Oh, wait a minute. You have masks, too. Not that I need
I
one.
couldn't get that to work. I'm going to join your party. I'm in your party room now. Oh, yours still has the first video.
Okay, now what? Oh, hello. Hey,
it just
Mikah.
completely covers your face.
I'm a sheep. It covers the sheep. Hello, Mikah.
Leo is live in Micah's party room.
live in your party. I want to hear the song Chandelier.
Hello.
Hello.
Wait, mine is moving without me talking. Hello.
Because we're in the same freaking room. You're not supposed to do this in the same room. Would you mind moving to Philadelphia? All right. I'm going to be your bunny now. Hello.
From the chandelier.
I wish there were a way I could... there's got to be a way I can add to this. Are you playing the top 10 women I've slept with?
No, I was playing a funny haha.
I don't think you should play this. Okay.
This is Airtime.
Wait.
Hi, Airtime.
Where you and your
Why are you-
friends
Oh, now she's sharing with me.
in real time.
I don't want you.
This is what Airtime looks like.
How do I turn off this face? What do I do?
What you're watching.
So somehow it got in the queue.
Yeah, how did that happen?
Yo, look, it's got a ton of stuff. Oh, this was beautiful. Shawn Mendes.
Wait, but if we play that,
Camilo
we can't do it on
Cabello.
YouTube.
Oh, we can't do it on YouTube. Stop. It's not my fault,
You changed
YouTube.
it. You changed it in my room, so
Yeah, because
you
I
are
can look
able
at the
to.
queue, but I can't add to the queue.
Okay, so you can choose stuff that's already in the queue. So go to your room, Go hit X.
Okay.
And then hit
Exit out of my room.
go out of Micah's party and then
Go to
your
Felix's party.
No.
I'm gonna add Felix.
There you go. Oh look, and Sean is also.
And I'm gonna add Sean. You'd have thought that announcing it live on the air would be jammed, but no one else is.
And then choose your party.
My party. Welcome. Let's party. Tap below to go live. I'm live.
Yes.
And then it's got a video that I did not choose.
That's the first video for Airtime that shows you how to use it.
Okay.
So just
okay.
If you hit the popcorn button. Oh wait, you went out of your room. Go back to it. No, that's and then go live once more.
Hey, Sean.
Oh, Sean.
Sean, he's in our room too.
You're not live yet.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Oh.
This is Airtime, the app where you
Now you're live.
Now we're live.
video
Hey, Sean.
in real time. This is what Airtime looks like. You could show what you're
Okay. Now I tap that.
And then you choose popcorn.
Popcorn.
And now you can choose a video.
Oh, and then I can choose videos.
You can even do your own photos if you want to, or you can choose videos or categories.
Featured. The Avengers, where are they now? Buzzworthy artists. We can't play any music.
TikTok time.
Do you think Sia is going to pull our show down?
No, not with the Toad version. Toad might pull it down.
Yeah.
Listen here. I don't like you playing that.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they want us to be finished with the show.
Yeah, we got to be finished with the show. It's almost noon. Holy cow.
I blame Toad.
Now I can't stop it. Stop it.
So between yours.
What's going on? Hello. I got to leave now.
I can't stop it.
I know.
Hello.
I know.
Yeah, back I think.
Out. Stop.
So that's Airtime. And what was your inscrutable app? I already forgot.
It's not inscrutable. It's a great app. It's called Minecraft Earth.
Oh, that's right.
Let me show you a little bit. It's saying be careful. Just like it's
If you download content.
my screen has it. Yeah, see, there it is. Now here's the thing. This is a map. This is where we are, just like Pokemon Go, except it's a Minecraft map. And in Minecraft, when there's stuff, you tap it and you can dig it, man. I'm digging it. So I got some stone.
Look, you got some crap.
It's Minecraft. That's the whole idea. You're collecting stuff.
Yeah.
So there's stuff where you are, okay? But that's not all there is, right? Because then I can also place stuff. Now, I don't have a lot of things I can build because apparently you have to level up or buy plates, but I'm going to build this plate.
Okay.
It's getting ready.
Look at that. That's augmented reality. Why don't I have that?
It's you will. Hold on. It's just, you know what? It's early access. See, it says it right there, and it's a little slow.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know why this is so slow, but what it's going to do in a bit, it's going to now it's showing the table.
Oh.
See?
So I just didn't go far enough.
Somebody's already
before.
put something here. Oh, that was me.
Was
I
it
think.
Sean?
No, I think it was me. So I'm going to place it. So now let's zoom out or something. Whoa.
Oh, there we go.
Whoa.
This is what I want.
So, and I can dig, I can build. So all the stuff I've collected, like I collected a pig, I could put a pig up there.
Oh, look at that.
See, now, and it's in the studio.
Okay, now I see this game that I want.
And because it's using Azure, I can never remember the name of that, place marks, it's, go ahead, reach into my Minecraft. It's permanent.
Oh,
So
very cool.
when I come back here, in fact, I placed something over there, which I should during Twit, so I should be able to see it. I don't know. I have to. This is the hardest thing about showing augmented reality. Is you have to
you got to move the phone around.
this thing and keep it on camera. But, huh?
Can you airplay it?
Oh yeah, because then it would show. us the
Yeah. You
display.
want me to airplay it?
Oh, good.
You can see I'm in the studio. There's Mikah. What Mikah doesn't know is there's an entire Minecraft creation in front of him. Actually, I don't like what I've done here, so I'm going to go back to the interact mode, and I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff because I don't.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Destroy.
Yeah, this is just like real Minecraft, right? Except you don't have to tap quite so much. So before one builds, one must destroy, right?
Yeah. Confucius.
And just like real Minecraft, those blocks go into your inventory. So I'm kind of tearing down something here. And I'm going to but I can build something new because I have now in my inventory. Like, first of all, I always like to do this. Let's fill in holes. I don't want anybody to fall in. And I got some water there. I'm going to fill that in.
You don't want the pigums to fall into the holes.
No, pigums will fall in. You can also craft. So I can go to my craft table. Here's my inventory. And you can also there's a baby duck.
Oh,
there's some so this is the various things. They also could sort it by rarity, A to Z, or quantity, which is kind of cool. So that's my inventory. Let me go back to interact mode. I'm going to remember the controls are not ideal,
right?
As you can see. So now I'm going to go back to the map. You sure you want to stop playing? No, I just want to go back to the map. Okay.
Okay. So then, how do you get back into?
I just tap it. Oh, let's collect some more stuff while I'm here. I could just tap it because it's in the.
Oh, I see.
It's in the place plates. So you know what? This is a beta.
That's why
there's a store, of course,
gotcha.
And you can buy these build plates with rubies. I only have 3 rubies. Obviously, there's got to be a cash exchange here. There's friends challenges. Excuse me.
Bless you.
It's a little chilly in here. No. Now let's craft. Shall we craft?
We shall craft.
All right. So these are the things I have, and these are the things I can build with the things I have. So I could build some stairs, some cobblestone stairs. There we go. The table's busy. Oh, I guess I got another. I'm still crafting something.
Oh, it's a timed crafting?
Yeah, except that I haven't crafted anything in a while, so I don't know why it's doing that.
Can you tap on the thing that's up there on the table and remove it?
Oh, I didn't collect it. Now I can craft. Let's build some stairs. Craft. That's why. So I hadn't collected. It's going to take me 10 more minutes to craft those stairs.
Gotcha.
Or I could speed it up with rubies, of which I have none.
How do you get rubies other than
That's a really good question. Well, there's not even a mechanism to pay for them right now.
Maybe challenges or something.
As one knows in Minecraft, one wants to build a bed as soon as possible. To make a bed,
yes.
I need some ingredients. I don't want to make a magenta bed. Can I just make a orange bed? No, I just want to make a regular bed. Anyway, I don't know if you need to sleep. White bed, common. So
personally, no.
I need some sheep wool, and I need some wood. And I got wood. I just need some sheep's wool. So I'm going to go find some sheep. So if you've played Minecraft, this will be very familiar to you. There's also smelting. So I've made glass, for instance, by smelting some sand.
Do the things you collect on the plates also count toward your total, or is it only things you collect when you're on the map?
I don't know. That's a very interesting question you're asking there.
Thank you. I do my best.
I do not know. So I'm going to now go back to my plate. And now that I have glass, I can make some windows.
Oh.
Yeah. I can put some stairs in. This is a little annoying. You see how long it takes. Oh, is the plate gone? What the hell is that? Okay.
Surface tracker.
What is that? That's really... I guess that's just where I'm going to put it, huh?
Yeah, I think it might be showing the surface or something.
Okay, there's my plate. This is the same one.
Oh, wow. It's even trying to cut us out. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, who are you? Who's that? Okay. There's Hans. There's my pig.
Hans, your pig Hans.
Hans. Let me, shall I let's just see if I can place that glass. Let's see. Do I have that glass? No, I don't see it.
Where's the rest of your inventory?
Dirt. There's oak leaves.
Oh, I wonder if you have to move it down to your inventory.
There's probably, yes, that's
bench
probably
inventory.
it. You're exactly right. My backpack. So, obviously there's some ins and outs to this thing. I think it's kind of cool.
It is cool.
I think eventually this should be as interesting as Pokemon Go. This is Minecraft Earth.
Now that I know it can do the AR part, I'm totally sold.
Yeah.
Because when I first launched it, I'm like, I thought this had AR.
It's a big pig. Let's step back from the pig a little bit. Yeah, so as I move the phone, it can go in and out. It can change my view and that kind of thing.
Cool.
It's clearly pretty early days, but it's free and it's worth downloading, especially if you're a Minecraft fan. Yeah. I was pretty excited. I've put a lot of Minecraft stuff all over the place. This is what I'm most interested in. You can see that this is the ad that they've distributed. But
look, Ma, I got a piggy.
Look, Ma, I got a pig. And now you can place the pig.
In your little pig
in your little pig
family.
Pen. What I thought was supposed to happen is that's supposed to persist. But it may be that I actually just take my build with me everywhere I go.
Oh, and it could be because it's early access still that it
There may
doesn't
be,
yet.
yeah, because Azure has the capability to tie stuff to a geolocation.
Yeah, because that'd be neat that you could,
Look at that.
with your friends, you're all there seeing this space together.
Same thing. Yeah, and apparently you are. So we got a ways to go.
Wow, and there's
Ways to
switches
go.
and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what Microsoft's been promising for a while. I have to say, I also mentioned this, and I'm sure Paul mentioned it, because I think it's very clear that Microsoft has really been a better steward of Minecraft than Mojang, that they bought it, and everybody was afraid, oh, they're going to ruin this perfect little gem. And instead, they've expanded it. They've added new features without, I think, destroying the spirit of it.
Yeah, look at this. You could all be playing together with your arrows. Oh, that's fun.
I think that's a feature still to come. But I like it. Minecraft Earth, if you want to get in on it early, now's the time. It's available on iOS and Android, and it's free. Early access is what they call it.
In-app purchases allegedly coming later.
And then now, Mike and I are going to start a party where we're going to play
We're going to play Minecraft
Chandelier.
Earth while we listen to Toad sing Chandelier. Toad sings other songs too, by the way.
And they all sound kind of like that.
Yeah.
He screeches his way through them.
There's also, if I can, Britney Spears Toxic. Look up Britney Spears Toxic Recorder. And there's just someone playing the Britney Spears Toxic song on the recorder, and it's just terrible and hilarious. So yeah, I don't know, join my Airtime, and we will watch that together.
We're going to try to edit this show down to a mere 4 or 5 hours. But if you did watch all 4 or 5 hours, we are very grateful.
We appreciate you.
We really don't deserve all the kindness you've just bestowed on us. We're supposedly, we do this show for a mere hour, starting around 9:30 Pacific, 12:30 Eastern time. And I think now that's 9 plus 7, which is 16:30 UTC. I think is the new UTC time. We're here in standard time on the coast. That means you can watch live at twit.tv/live. You can also join us in studio as Alex did. He probably came for some other show, but was roped into iOS today. Just email tickets at twit.tv. You'll watch whatever we're doing and like it.
By golly.
By golly. If you want to watch the show on demand, the good news is you can. We make on-demand audio and video, usually shorter than the live version, available at twit.tv. For this show, it's twit.tv/iOS or wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe in Spotify so that we exist.
Yeah. Please do.
Actually, you can subscribe in everything, and then I don't know, the universe will explode.
We'll be happy about it.
Thank you. If you have a question, a comment, a suggestion, I love videos. We love pictures. We love audio as well. Just email it to iOS today at twit.tv.
That's the spot.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
It's good to be back. How long were your shows when I was gone?
An hour and a half, yeah. An hour and a half, yeah.
I'm sorry. So it's my fault.
And we started at 9 a.m.
So it's my fault. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
iOS today. Public flogging next week.